UFC 287. This is the weigh-in recap show, full card predictions and the betting breakdown. We're going to talk about each of the matchups on the card after seeing the fighters on the scales. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on and make sure to share the video as well. Also note, full UFC 287 Fight Companion live tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Do not miss it. And let's get into the first fight of the night. It's Sam Hughes versus Jaqueline Amorim. So earlier on, throughout the entire week, I have been highly confident on Jaqueline Amorim, as much so as to consider her a lock this week. We'll now jump to the scales and discuss if any of those feelings have shifted in any which way. Let's first bring up the official scales here, and I'll shrink myself down. There is Sam Hughes, who I will acknowledge looks good on the scale. She is a scrappy girl. Hard fight, definitely, for a girl making her debut. I do think Amorim, though, very special jiu-jitsu skill set. Looks pretty normal on the scales. Nothing jumping up and down like, wow, she looks tremendous, but she looks fine. She looks decent there. As far as the ceremonial face-offs, you can see a little bit of that height advantage towards the side of Sam Hughes. Amorim, kind of looking maybe a bit less muscular in the back and shoulders area than Sam Hughes, but I do think she has clearly the better jiu-jitsu. I'd be lying to you if I feel like she's the same level of lock for me as earlier in the week as she is right now after seeing her on the scales. I do think she wins. I already have a bet down on her. I'm riding with her into the victory here. There's no pick change. I'm going to call Amorim, and I do think she wins by submission. She's incredibly slick on the mat. I see a lot of skill set in the Amorim side. Sam Hughes, a scrappy out, as I said, 7-5, 6-0. I'm going with the prospect on the come up to get it done over Sam Hughes. Let's jump to the betting side of things. Odds are wide towards Amorim. She's around minus 250. Sam Hughes plus 240. I don't really care much about an over in this fight. And Amorim to win by a submission is only plus 150. I do think she's got a fair shot of it, though note Sam Hughes, not an easy girl to finish off. Money line better. Amorim picking this fight. Could definitely be a parlay edition. We'll talk parlays at the end, and you will see her name. Amorim to win. I say she gets it done. But yeah, I don't know. I don't feel the same level of lockiness that I had early in the week. I still think she's going to win, but there's a certain name that I'll tell you when we get to it that I feel like is the post-weigh-in lock, which I'll bring you guys when we come up with it. Let's keep running up the card. Next fight on the card. Steve Garcia, Jaqueline Nuerdanbieke. I have been picking Jaqueline Nuerdanbieke to win. I believe that he can land takedowns in this fight. He's a more powerful striker and better technically. Steve Garcia, dangerous, scrappy, brawler striking style. But I think Nuerdanbieke could touch him, but definitely could find takedowns and control on the mat. He also looked good on the scale. So the pick has been Nuerdanbieke over Steve Garcia all week. We'll pull up the official weigh-ins and we'll check things out here. Let's scroll down. Steve Garcia, possible staph infection. Look at that chest. Look. Possible staph infection. Looks okay on the scale. Nuerdanbieke looked jacked. Yeah, he looks jacked as hell. Obviously, he's shorter than Steve Garcia. Definitely more lean muscle tissue on his frame. The official, weigh-ins are where it's at. This is the ceremonial. We don't really need to look at how the frames look, but Nuerdanbieke looks great. It's more about when they face off with one another. I like Nuerdanbieke's side. I just see him winning this fight. My confidence rose seeing how good he looked on the scale, knowing that he's extremely experienced throughout his career and is still very young. And Steve Garcia looks okay. Body language decent. Staph infection potentially, and I've already thought that he's going to lose this fight, so it's added more confidence for me on the side of Jaqueline Nuerdanbieke. I am feeling very good about him getting a win on Saturday, and looking at the odds, Nuerdanbieke is somebody that the money line is available. Minus 176, minus 185 range money line. Garcia around plus 165 as a dog. I like the favorite, Nuerdanbieke. I am confident he wins. Very confident he wins. More confident now after seeing him on the scale as good as he looked and how Steve didn't look great. So Nuerdanbieke could definitely be a money line attack post weigh-ins. I also feel as though if you're looking at a prop, how I'm going to think of it is Nuerdanbieke to win a decision is where I've been all week. It's plus 340. My concern a little bit is what if Steve Garcia actually has a staph infection and he looks good in the first round, but second and third, he's completely gassed. We could see a victory inside of the distance by the side of Nuerdanbieke. Is it crazy if I fucking talked about a Hail Mary being a sub? I mean, it's upwards of plus 1,000. It's not crazy likely. I mean, Nuerdanbieke is not Mr. Submission. We'll pull his record up and count how many sub wins he has. He does, though, have 10 wins by sub. And a knockout could also happen, but Garcia, very durable normally. It's more that I would think it could be a sub because of this potential staph infection, right? Nuerdanbieke dominating the fight, winning, Garcia gassing, Nuerdanbieke fighting a sub. So looking at it from like a sniper Hail Mary prop side, plus 900, plus 1,000, that could be something to consider. Granted, he could get a TKO. My official call all week has been win by decision. I still kind of feel like it's going distance, but I'm not going to prop decision. I like money line bet, or I prefer you lean towards the Hail Mary side and you look at that submission prop, which is about plus 1,000. So $10 makes you 100. So pretty damn solid plus money. I think that's a decent sniper shot. 10 wins by sub on the side of Nuerdanbieke. It's not impossible. Definitely not impossible. Not saying it's the lock of the year that he's getting the sub, but looking value to likelihood, I think that it's there to consider that prop. But definitely money line, Nuerdanbieke. He's winning this fight. 50th pro fight, and this man is not even 29 yet. He turns 29 in 3 days. That's insane. Insane. Nuerdanbieke to win. High confidence. Real high confidence. Next fight, Trey Ogden, Ignacio Bahamondes. I've been picking Ignacio Bahamondes all week long. I feel like as the week has gone on, I've felt a shift upwards in my confidence. And this is even pre-weigh-ins. Also seeing Bahamondes on the scales, which we'll look at. He's been the pick. I do think Trey Ogden's a good fighter, well-rounded guy, but Bahamondes dangerous. Trey Ogden, great shape. Got to acknowledge. He's shredded. He's ready to rock. It's 160. Granted, he's cut weight, 2 out of 3 weeks now. And then Bahamondes looking lean, shredded, thin for sure, but he's 6'3". He's a fiery prospect, man. Trey Ogden looks filled up. He looks thick here. Bahamondes looks good as well. And then face off, kind of far from one another. I just see the youth, the speed, the range. I see the Bahamondes show. Daniel Zellhuber, the last fight was the win for Trey Ogden, right? Zellhuber is a much lighter version of an Ignacio Bahamondes. Zellhuber was this 12-0 prospect. Bahamondes doesn't have the pretty record, but he's been in there with legitimate names, winning fights, finishing fights late. I like the chances for Ignacio Bahamondes to win. I think a third-round knockout is possible. I also do think a decision side could definitely come through because no Trey Ogden's never been knocked out. Granted, also no wins via KO. If you're Ogden, you're probably looking to grapple a bit here. Not going to be easy to do with the length of Bahamondes. So confidence on Bahamondes, definitely very high. I like the body language. I like the frame. I've liked him all week, and I like him even more now going into fight day. So Ignacio, wow. He's upwards of minus 415 at Bet Online, but minus 340 for best value and plus 315 the dog side of Trey Ogden. Give me Ignacio Bahamondes. That's where my confidence is at. Let's see. Ignacio by KO, TKO, plus 205. Ignacio by decision, plus 195. I think either are possible. The highest level of confidence I have is going to be Ignacio getting a win, right? KO or decision, Bahamondes, minus 280. I think that could be a play if you're looking for a little bit better value. It's only available over at DraftKings, and it's not tremendous. Bahamondes, though, watch out for that name. I'll put him in a parlay at the end. I do like his chances of winning the fight. We're riding with him, and the confidence, as I said, rose throughout the week, and especially after seeing him on the scales at the face-offs. 25-year-old savage prospect, big range advantage, dangerous striker, and he's taking out Trey Ogden here. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card. Cynthia Calvillo and Lupita Godinez. I have been picking Lupita Godinez throughout the week, and I've also been very concerned about Cynthia Calvillo even making weight. Well, she proved me wrong. She made weight, And we're going to look at her on the scale, and we'll discuss how the frame is looking. But yeah, the pick has been Lupi throughout the entire week. Not expecting a change here. Lupi looks in very good shape. Good biceps, solid leanness. But Cynthia Calvillo look good. She doesn't look super sucked out and drained. She has a legitimate weight cut that she pulled off. So then you go towards the ceremonials. There's Lupi. There's Calvillo. Then there's a face-off. Calvillo a little bit taller. My confidence in Lupita Godinez after weigh-in, seeing how good Calvillo looked, has dropped a bit. My confidence has diminished a bit. We'll do a post-weigh-in parlay. And Lupi earlier in the week was like a hell yeah. Now I'm thinking this stick that over 2.5 side. I don't like the way Lupita Godinez is facing off with. I don't know how to describe it. It's just something. I still think she has a very legit chance to win the fight, but you can see the concern. So the betting side is a lot less attractive to me now. Cynthia Calvillo could be a very live dog. Let's talk about this with Calvillo real quick. Yes, she is on a bad losing streak, but it's up a weight class, 125 pounds. This is at 115. And I'm going to ask you guys a question. Would Lupi beat Katlyn Chookagian? Probably not. Would she beat Jessica Andrade? Probably not. Would she beat Andrea Lee? Probably not. Would she beat Nina Nunes? Maybe. That's the maybe. So Cynthia Calvillo, yes, on a terrible losing streak. As good as she looked on the scales, I wouldn't have picked her straight out, looking at the past 4, looking at her performances. But because she did look pretty good on the scales, a little bit bigger than Lupi, I think this is a dangerous fight for Godinez. The over is where my confidence lies most. Still picking Godinez, but I'm throwing a bit of a yellow flag up for you guys, and you can hear it here. Lupita Godinez minus 275. A bit too wide for me now. Seeing how Calvillo made that money weight, I think that people are going to be on Calvillo as a dog, sitting around plus 260. I do think she could be live. Definitely now. After the weigh-ins, yes, Calvillo looks good. Not changing the pick, though. Just throwing some concern out there. Over 2.5 rounds is where the most confidence lies. That sits around minus 280, upwards of minus 350. That is where I would lean you guys towards playing. I also want to see some props here. Calvillo by decision is what I'm curious about. Plus 375. Godinez decision minus 110. There's zero value on the Godinez side. And seeing that Calvillo look decent, Calvillo's the decision queen. I mean, plus 375. I'm probably not going to play it, but I am going to just mention it if you're on that other side. There's a chance this comes through. But over 2.5 is where I'm going to stay. But yeah, I don't know. Just not loving how Lupi looked as much. And she was a very confident pick all week. But I think Calvillo is ready. So I was not expecting A1 Calvillo, the Calvillo that did tremendous work at women's strawweight in the past. I was expecting a watered down Calvillo. Now, after seeing her on the scale, I'm concerned. What if we get the Calvillo that has a draw with Marina Rodriguez? Lupita Godinez could be in real trouble. So yeah, I just want to throw you guys that red flag out. The post-weigh-in show, red flag. Calvillo could be a live dog, not an official pick flip. Sticking with Godinez to win a decision, but the betting side, a lot more unattractive as this week has gone on, especially after the weigh-ins. All right, next fight. We got Karl Williams versus Chase Sherman. I have been riding the Karl Williams side throughout the entire week here. I've thought that he's going to be able to get it done. I do think he's an athletic prospect, good wrestling, talking about he's got more to show than what he had in his debut. I'm excited to find out if he really does have more to show. I feel like he's pretty decent, and especially in a matchup here with a guy who, let's be 100% honest, lacks grappling skill. Chase Sherman is not a great grappler. There is Chase Sherman. A weird Roy Jones tattoo. That's odd. And then there is Karl Williams. He looks pretty good on the scale. Neither guy bodybuilding, but Williams definitely looks better. There's Chase Sherman again. There is Karl Williams looking pretty big. Similar frame, similar size. When you got a wrestler on one side and you got a guy with questionable grappling, the confidence should really be high on the side of Williams. I mean, he's a big favorite, and I do think he's going to get the win. So yeah, I'm riding the Karl Williams side to victory. After weigh-ins, the confidence pretty much neutral to where it was, maybe slightly more even, but I've always been pretty confident that he wins the fight. Minus 400 though, so he's a very wide favorite. Chase Sherman plus 335. I do feel like I talked about maybe a finish for Karl Williams. For some reason inside of me, I think Williams decision plus 155. So officially, I'm going to lean Williams decision. I talked about, what if we shot in the dark for the sub? But it's not calling my name at plus 600 and Williams not having a great submission game. Maybe more likely a ground and pound TKO. TKO's plus 220. But yeah, I like Williams to win. Over 1.5 could be a casher, especially with Williams' fighting style, being more patient and being willing to embrace the grind with the wrestling. Minus 240, over 1.5. This fight could look similar to Parker Porter versus Sherman, maybe with a bit more ground and pound. So yeah, I think I'm going to go Williams decision. Over 1.5 is an interesting thing if you're looking to parlay. Not necessarily attack it straight out, because minus 240, in my opinion, is too wide. If it was minus 125, different story. But that's at one book, and I don't think that's accurate. Karl Williams to get the win, riding with his side into victory. Let's go. Nothing changes. I guess that over 1.5 is something. Next fight of the night is Gerald Meerschaert and Joseph Pyfer. I've been picking underdog Gerald Meerschaert all week, and I was excited to see if he brought me some intensity, confidence, and physique. And I'll tell you, I think he brought all three. We'll bring him up on the scale. I think he brought all you can ask for an underdog here. Joe Pyfer looks good. He looks real good. But Gerald Meerschaert also looks very good. Shredded, ready to fight, give it his all. This is a guy he's a career fighter. This is what he does. And he's got a good 4-1 streak for himself. Dangerous submission artist, good at submitting prospects on the come up. Joe Pyfer, unproven prospect. Meerschaert all day. Joe Pyfer looked intense, good at weigh-ins. There's Meerschaert, though. He looks shredded. Meerschaert looked very good. Similar statures for the two, similar height. Maybe Joe Pyfer a little bit thicker. But Meerschaert's got the better Brazilian jiu-jitsu. When he goes to the floor, I think Pyfer gets overzealous, overconfident, and as he fatigues a bit, mistakes happen. And that's where Meerschaert capitalizes. Gerald Meerschaert win via submission. He's a very live underdog this week. I've already placed a bet on him. I did it very early in the week, and I'm thankful that he carried the confidence from me into weigh-ins. I like it. Plus 165 Meerschaert. Pyfer, minus 180. Give me Meerschaert. Give me dog money. Moneyline attack, set. Thumbs up from me. That's what I'm doing. As far as prop sided, okay? I think submission is a pretty decent prop at plus 300. It's right there. Plus 300 money, win by sub. Meerschaert most likely to win by submission if he is to win. Moneyline, great attack as well. Both very good. Meerschaert sub, though, plus 300. I do think he wins by sub. I've attacked the money line just to, keep it on the safer side and whatnot. But I do think submission could definitely come through. Meerschaert for the victory, underdog. I think he beats Joe Pyfer. I'm not sold on body bags Pyfer just yet. I need to see some performances in the UFC. I've seen Meerschaert versus everybody, and that Bruno Silva win shot my confidence in him up. Don't sleep on Meerschaert. He's always slept on, and he always proves himself as a dog. Expect the same here with this stylistic matchup. Next fight, ladies going after it. It's Michelle Waterson-Gomez versus Luana Pinheiro. I have been picking the side of Luana Pinheiro all week, but talking about how I don't really like the betting side. And, I was waiting for the weigh-ins to see, does something shift? Is there maybe confidence on me betting a Pinheiro, or am I more like, let me chill. This is not the fight for me. So let's look at Pinheiro. She looks confident at the official weigh-ins. Interesting haircut, but she looks confident. There's Michelle Waterson looking pretty solid, shredded. Granted, I don't see her winning the fight. There's Pinheiro, looks pretty solid. There's Waterson, okay, we're looking at him again. There's the face-off. Waterson got the nice abs, though. I'm picking Pinheiro to win. I don't know why. I genuinely just think that Pinheiro needs a new haircut. I don't know who that stylist is, but I'm giving it a thumbs down. Don't matter, though. I do think Pinheiro gets a victory in the fight. Could be a parlay edition. Could be. Waterson's still looking in very good shape and looks to test the unproven prospect on the come-up. I'm going to pick Pinheiro. Betting, though, it's like I don't know. I'm having a hard time wanting to hammer this shit. But I might throw Pinheiro in a parlay. Minus 155, not a bad line for Pinheiro. Plus 150, dog side, Michelle Waterson. Probably a decision, over 2.5, minus 300, but I'm not betting on it. Pinheiro to win by a decision, plus 130. Again, not betting it. Doesn't interest me. For whatever reason, I feel like I want to stay off. I feel like Pinheiro is going to end up going out there and winning. So I'm thinking parlay piece Pinheiro. If you're feeling like you want to attack that money line, I'd say, you could go for it, right? Opposite career trajectories. But she still is on, an unproven prospect. Granted, like I said earlier in the week, I'm fucking picking Amorim to win, who's also an unproven prospect, and I bet on it. True, different level of the opponent across from the cage, right? Michelle Waterson has been at the top of the sport before. Sam Hughes has not. Pinheiro for the victory. She gets it done. And let's keep running up. Next fight on the card. It's actually the featured prelim. Kelvin Gastelum versus Chris Curtis. All week, I've been going a little bit against the grain, picking the side of Kelvin Gastelum and mentioning training with Henry Cejudo could be a positive attribute. I do think that Kelvin Gastelum is a high-level mixed martial artist, the top contender still in the middleweight division, always giving these top guys tough fights, aside from the fight with Jack Hermanson. Chris Curtis, dominant loss to Jack Hermanson, and then the last one follows it up. Big win over Joaquin Buckley. But Joaquin Buckley's not exactly Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum's extremely durable. In my opinion, you can't sleep on Kelvin. Even with losses, even with injuries, I'm not sleeping on him. So I've been picking KG all week. And let's see here. There's Kelvin Gastelum. Listen, physique is not his forte. Kelvin Gastelum is built like a fridge, and that is fine because I'm not looking for a bodybuilder in Kelvin Gastelum. Then you got Ziz, Chris Curtis throwing the pose out there. Yes, obviously he looks more physically imposing than Gastelum, who keeps his shirt on at the ceremonial weigh-ins, but he throws a heart out. That's all I need to see. There's Curtis, again, with the nice pose, and then there's the face-off. I got Kelvin Gastelum taking him out. I'll take Gastelum to win. I'm going to call it win via decision here for Kelvin Gastelum. Chris Curtis, a guy who's incredibly difficult to finish off. Gastelum, obviously incredibly difficult to finish, and Chris Curtis is more of a knockout artist. I think Gastelum gets a victory in this one. Hard fight, but one that Gastelum shines and wins in, so I'm riding the KG side. He's actually expanded as the favorite. I'm seeing him upwards of minus 140 over at BetOnline, minus 118, best value. Chris Curtis, plus 122. Over 2.5, I think is pretty damn likely here at minus 215. Not really touching the props, not feeling it. Gastelum by a decision, plus 150 probably. Gastelum KO, TKO, plus 550. Imagine he gets a knockout. Not super likely KG's getting a knockout. It's been a long time. He's got power, though. Southpaw versus Southpaw. Kelvin Gastelum to win. I think he proves a point here, and he looks better in this matchup. So I'm riding with Gastelum to take Chris Curtis out in this fight, in the featured prelim of the night. In close line bet. Next fight on the card brings us to the main card. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's Raul Rosas Jr. and Christian Rodriguez. Listen, Raul Rosas Jr. is going to run through Christian Rodriguez. I've been picking him all week, but god damn, the weigh-ins shot my confidence up for Raul Rosas Jr. Christian Rodriguez, even at the press conference, in my opinion, he does not want to be there. Does not look confident whatsoever. In his eyes, I don't know. I don't see a winner. I see a guy who knows that he's the B side. He knows that he's here to lose, and I think he's believing that he's here to lose against this 18-year-old savage. Let's look at the official weigh-ins. Let's check things out here. Let me shrink myself down. All right. There is Christian Rodriguez, who misses weight. Does that look like a man who's going to win a fight tomorrow? No, it does not. That's not a winner. That is a loser's face. He's already lost the fight. I'm telling you guys. Rosas, high confidence, shredded, ready to fight, prospect on the come up, mentally has already broken Christian Rodriguez. It's over. This fight, it's one-way traffic now. I see it. Dominance on Rosas' side. I'm going to call submission win. Looking at the ceremonies, it doesn't even matter. We don't even have to look. Again, Christian Rodriguez, to me, does not want to fight this man. He looks like zero confidence. This is not the body language you want. You want to bet on that guy? You want to bet on the guy, Stan? Come on, dude. He looks like he wants no part of this. Rosas looks ready to kill. And then the face-off. Listen, Christian Rodriguez, I'm telling you guys, the confidence on the Rosas side after seeing Rodriguez look as, I don't know, miserable as possible and lacking confidence as maybe any fighter I've ever seen, Rosas has honestly like jumped to lock territory for me. The body language is off the charts. It doesn't look like Rodriguez is ready for this fight. Also, take into consideration, he misses weight. He's not ready for what's coming. Rosas is going to sub him. One-way traffic going the way of the 18-year-old Raul Rosas Jr. Hell yeah, let's go. Confidence jumping way up. And you better bet it now if you are gonna, because minus 216, Rosas Jr., Rodriguez plus 215. Rosas the pick. And if you're money lining it, go after it. Because I'm telling you, people are also thinking the exact same thing that I am. The confidence is higher on Rosas. Rodriguez looks dejected. He doesn't want a part of this young savage. Odds for a win by submission is what I'm going to say. Probably have a little steam, right? Rosas by sub, plus 175. I think he's getting the submission win. I'm calling it. He subs Christian Rodriguez. Rosas Jr. getting his hand raised. I'm going to attack that prop bet. Confidence through the roof now. I'm telling you, the confidence is skyrocketed. Christian Rodriguez does not look like he has an ounce of confidence, and that's not the body language I would ever want in betting a fighter, nor even picking a fighter. Rosas for the win. Let's get to the next fight. Kevin Holland, Santiago Ponzinibbio. I have been picking Kevin Holland throughout the entire week, and I would consider it a rather confident pick. Yeah, it's confident. It's pretty confident. He's got some big advantages. Youth, range, speed. Ponzinibbio still hits pretty fucking hard, though. But the pick has been Holland all week. We'll pull up the scales. We'll see. Does anything start to shift? Does my mind change in the slightest of ways whatsoever? Let's see here. There is Santiago Ponzinibbio, who still looks very good. There's Kevin Holland, slim, ready to rock, ready to fight. Getting into fucking bullshit with Masvidal earlier in the week. There's Ponzi with the big ears. There's Kevin Holland, skinny, ripped, normal frame from him. And then there's the face-off. You can see the Holland range edge. Listen, Ponzi looks confident, but I do believe Holland has to win. This is a win for Holland. Has to. This is a must-win for Kevin Holland at this point. Listen, he landed shots against Wonderboy nobody lands. And I think we got to acknowledge Kevin Holland is still very dangerous in this welterweight division. Let's not write him off because he lost to Khamzat Chimaev, who's a menace, and he lost to Wonderboy, who's the best kickboxer maybe, we've seen in the welterweight division, maybe even MMA. He's a tremendous kickboxer. That's what I'm saying. And Kevin Holland had moments against him and wanted to only strike. So my confidence rides with Kevin Holland to get a win. Now it comes down to method of victory. I've been saying Kevin Holland. Originally, it was decision. Then it was lean knockout. Right now, at minus 230, the money line is not a bad idea. It's also a parlay piece. But. Holland is the king of the club and sub. And if you're giving me nearing plus 800, plus 575 on the low end for Kevin Holland by submission, I feel stupid not to attack it with a little bit of money. So Holland to win by club and sub is going to be my call. I think he can stun Ponzinibbio, then lock up a submission of a stun Pons who's been feeling his shots. We're riding the Holland side for the win. Money line, obviously better than just risking it on club and sub. At minus 230, I do think Kevin Holland gets the victory. Ponzinibbio might try to grapple. I think he will be met with some solid resistance by Kevin Holland. Even though Holland has pretty mediocre wrestling, Ponzinibbio is not this D1 wrestling specimen. He's more of a striker. Obviously, he knows how to grapple and he's strong. But I think Kevin Holland, this is a matchup where you could fend off a takedown attempt from Ponzi and piece him up. Alex Morono was having a fuckload of success against Santiago Ponzinibbio before he got slept by Santiago in the last fight. Kevin Holland's going to win. He's getting the finish. Holland win by submission. Let's keep on running up the card. Let's get to the featured bout of the night. It's Rob Font versus Adrian Yanez. I've been picking Adrian Yanez, who I do believe has a speed advantage in this fight, which definitely could come in handy. But note, Rob Font is here to fucking win. This is not Rob Font who's seeing himself as a stepping stone. Rob Font looks in incredible shape. We'll bring up Yanez first. Big opportunity for him on the I guess not the co-main event, but the fight before Masvidal. And we always compare Yanez to like a bantamweight Masvidal. There's Rob Font. He definitely had a hell of a weight cut, but he looks pretty solid. Pull up the ceremonials. Yanez shredded, ready to go. Rob Font looks in very good shape. Both guys pretty thin. Little bit of a height edge towards Font. It's a dogfight. Listen, it's definitely going to be a dogfight. I could see Rob Font giving Yanez hell with the jab. I think Yanez can land power shots over the top. I think this could end up being fight of the night. I'm predicting a Yanez win by decision. Though the betting side all week has never interested me. And it still doesn't. It still doesn't. I know a lot of people are on the Rob Font side. They like him as a dog, and I can't really blame them. It's not like Adrian Yanez in every one of his fights is always dominant. He's shown, some lapses, jabbed to hell by Randy Costa, who got cut from the UFC a few fights back. Davy Grant split decision win, dogfight with Davy Grant. Hell of a dogfight. And Davy Grant's a fucking menace. Now he jumps to Rob Font. The speed advantage for Yanez, I think, gets him the victory. Minus 177 best value, but around minus 190 for Yanez. Rob Font sitting around plus 165. Looking at Adrian Yanez to win by a decision. Not telling you guys to do this. Upwards of plus 345. It doesn't intrigue me, though. I think this fight ends up going over a round and a half for sure at minus 200. I think over 2.5 is sneaky value at like minus 112, minus 125. If you told me I have to bet Yanez or bet the over 2.5, I think I'm going to go the over. Rob Font's not an easy guy to put away. Very durable. Yanez on the other side, definitely power, but he's not knocking everybody out. And I don't think he's knocking out Font. I say competitive decision. I know people are on that Rob Font dog side. Good luck to you if you are. I'm not going to touch money lines. I think the over 2.5 is what calls my name for value here. So maybe I'll throw it in a parlay, that over 2.5. We'll see at the end. Yanez still the pick to be victorious in the actual fist fight. But I do think it's a hell of a dog fight. And Yanez, big opportunity to break through, but definitely not an easy matchup. Still, don't fucking misunderstand. I'm picking Adrian Yanez by a decision. Official. Co-main event of the evening. It's Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal. Listen, Gilbert Burns is a menace. I've been picking him all week long. He looks so good at weigh-ins. So confident. Everything is screaming to me. Gilbert Burns will win this fight against Masvidal, who looked decent enough on the scale. Not overly impressive. Not bad. He looked like Masvidal. A little older. A 38-year-old Masvidal. He's always dangerous with his striking, but Gilbert Burns is also dangerous on the feet. Dangerous with his grappling. Takedowns for sure in the arsenal. Gilbert Burns the pick to get the win here. We'll look at the official weigh-ins. Let's pull them up here. There is Masvidal, who does look very good. Lean, in shape. He looks ready to fight. Looks real ready to fight. Gilbert Burns looking tremendous on the scale. Look at him. Shredded, built, ready to go. Some dense muscle on him. Strong grappler, too. There's Masvidal at the ceremonials. There's Burns looking like a fucking psychopath right there. And then there's an intense face-off. Listen, I believe Gilbert Burns right now is the best version of himself that we have ever seen. This is the best Gilbert Burns ever, in my opinion. Jorge Masvidal, I would have a very hard time saying the same. I'd be surprised if that's actually true. Gilbert Burns to win, and I'm calling a submission victory. I think he does finish Masvidal in front of the Miami fans. Listen, being in your home, as awesome as it sounds, in my opinion, we've seen fighters absolutely shit the bed at home. And I think this could be a case. And Gilbert Burns also a Miami guy, too. He lives over there. Battle for the king of Miami. Let's find out. I'm picking Burns. Minus 415. Gilbert Burns. High confidence pick. Plus 360 Masvidal. Obviously, I'm a Masvidal fan. Everybody is. I like Masvidal. But this is not the matchup that he shines in. This is a hell matchup. Burns to win. Now, how does he get it done? Could he take a decision? Yes, he could. Win by submission for Burns is plus 235. Burns to win a decision, plus 210. Listen, I know the money line is disgustingly wide, but that's where the confidence lies. It's just money line. It's parlay piece, money line. Leave it alone. The props, Masvidal is incredibly durable. He's not an easy guy to win by submission against. Damian Maia had his back for extended periods of time. Never was able to lock it up. I do think Burns does submit him. I'm going to call submission, but it's not a betting call. It's more of it's just a pick call. Burns for the victory. That's what I feel. And if you are on the Masvidal side, I'm curious. What's Masvidal by KO? Plus 650 Masvidal by KO. But I don't think he's KOing Burns, man. Right now, Gilbert Burns he's at the best level that he's ever been. He's the pick. I'm riding with him. He takes out Masvidal and maybe even retires him in Miami. Main event of the evening. If you guys haven't, make sure you smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira 2. But really, it's the fourth fight. Pereira defending this middleweight crown, which I do believe he successfully defends. The pick has been Alex Poatan Pereira all week long. I do think that he is going to beat Adesanya once again and retain the throne. I think he's the kryptonite. 3 down for Adesanya. Nothing that he has said has given me any confidence in him. Let's look at the scales. Let's see. Maybe, we see an Adesanya who looks like an absolute freak on the scales and something changes. It won't. I'll tell you guys straight up. It's not going to. There's Adesanya. Thin. Lacking the mystique. He's lacking the magic here. Alex Pereira's just got him. Look at this. That is the best right there. That's the champion in this weight class. That's the guy. Look at the UFC title around his arm. This is the guy. Dog collar again. He's referencing a movie where when the guy gets unleashed from the dog collar, he becomes an absolute kung fu master. So it's not as cringy as I thought. Poatan. Holy shit. That's a fucking killer. That looks like you're sending a guy out to fight to the death. He's the guy I want. He's the guy I want. Pereira for the win, guys. He's going to kill Adesanya. There's Alex Pereira looking like an absolute killer face-to-face. Adesanya, when he meets a guy who matches him in the height, who matches him in the reach, exceeds his punching power, and is not fearful of Adesanya's power, he's ran over. Adesanya's getting knocked out again. I think probably sooner. 3rd, 4th round knockout. Pereira's going to also have made adjustments in his grappling defense because trust me, I think Adesanya's going to be like, fuck, this guy's dangerous on the feet. Let me try to grapple him. Pereira's made adjustments, man. People are thinking, oh, he has no ground game. Is he not training his ass off to retain his world title? You know he's doing the proper things. He trains with Glover Teixeira, one of the best Brazilian jiu-jitsu light heavyweights we'd seen. I mean, he went on a great run late in his career and really just showed A1 grappling skills. Pereira for the win. He's my pick. I think he gets it done and takes over, takes the rivalry, takes it from Adesanya. The boogeyman can't be beaten. That's the kryptonite to Izzy, guys. Adesanya is still the favorite, around -115. Pereira upwards of +119. The side I'm on is Poatan for the win, and he's an underdog. Upwards actually +127 here, but +120 range. That's good. Let's see. Under 4.5. I do believe it goes under. -122 best value. Poatan by KO, the official prediction call, sits at upwards of +185, +200. At BetOnline, it's +165. That +2,800 is not correct. It's definitely +280. +165, though, is still good plus money. Pereira by knockout's the official call. I do think it comes a little bit later, but I'm not looking to just round prop it. You got a guy with the devastating power of Alex Pereira. One touch can end the fist fight, and he definitely, I think, ends his Adesanya on Saturday. I cannot wait to react to this fight live and be giving you guys my play-by-play. It's going to be crazy. Pereira the pick. He's a monster underdog, and I'm telling you, after the weigh-ins, my confidence is already high, even higher. After the press conference, even higher. Everything, all week. Fight week has been all Pereira. He has Adesanya here. Pereira, high confidence pick. He's getting it done. And still, the fucking boogeyman. Guys, let's jump to the parlays. Let's talk about some potential parlays to play after seeing the weigh-ins. Where is my confidence? Okay, Ignacio Bahamondes is a confident pick. Jaqueline Nuerdanbieke, another confident pick. Yes, the lock of the week, right, from earlier in the week is not the lock of post weigh-ins. Rosas is the lock post weigh-ins. Listen to that. This is a new thing that I think I'm going to do. If I feel a difference in my early week lock, I got to talk about the post weigh-in lock. Rosas is the guy. So these 3 +191, I am confident that all 3 of them are victorious. Now, okay, I want more steam. I want to add somebody else in. Let's add in Burns, +255. Because best fight odds is always fucking half delusional. I got to find Pereira. Where is he? Alex Pereira, plus money, +735. Pereira, Burns, Rosas Jr., Jaqueline Nuerdanbieke, Ignacio Bahamondes. That's a monster play, but these are 5 picks that I'm like, yo, these savages are coming through. These savages are going to be victorious, man. That's how I'm feeling. Let me scroll on up to 287, and I want to add in the over 2.5 in the Calvillo and Godinez fight. I do think the over's got a good chance of coming through, right? All right. We need more. We need more heat to this thing. Curtis Gastelum over. Fuck it. Let's add it in. I do think it goes over. Plus 1520. This is balls, man. This is a chaotic play, but it's one that I had to read out to the people. That's some balls right there. I also feel like the over 1.5 in the Masvidal fight, if you can add it in, not every book will allow you to play the fighter and the over from the same matchup. It's stupid. I agree it's stupid, but, you know, it's just truth. Let's see. Let's make, actually, I don't even want to clean the slate off because then I lose Pereira and I got to scroll all the way down. These are some savages that I'm confident win, right? Who could I add in, though? Karl Williams is another confident savage. The over 2.5, I believe this is the Calvillo fight, the over, correct? Yeah, it was. I'll remove it, though, real quick. Just fighters. Karl Williams, Pereira, Burns, Rosas, Shailan, Ignacio Bahamondes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6 confident picks right here. I'm a savage if I ride with this. Amorim, earlier in the week lock. Less so now, but I'll just add her in for a moment. I'm taking her out. I don't know. My feeling on her is strange in my gut. It's like, ugh. It's like a nasty feeling. I'm very worried about her. Kevin Holland, 1398. I think these savages are probably coming through, but we're getting crazy. I don't like these type of parlays. I'd rather add over-unders, but I wanted to do something wild. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fighter play plus 2,317. Let's see if that shit comes through. Holy hell. Yeah, but the post-fucking weigh-ins, guys, holy shit, my confidence jumped way up on Rosas. I like a Rosas Jr. play with a Pereira. Let me do that real quick. I meant to do it already. Rosas, where's he at? My guy. Rosas, and then let's get Pereira. Adesanya. Plus 239 for that one. Rosas and Pereira. That's a great play. It's a fucking tremendous play. And let's see. Is there another lean? Yeah, we're adding Shailan. Rosas, Pereira, Shailan. Rosas, Pereira, Bahamondes. Rosas, Pereira, Karl Williams. Damn, son. Let's add Karl Williams, Shailan, and Bahamondes. Fuck it. Plus 754. Just throwing shit out there to give you guys some more ideas. Be cautious with your bets. Be cautious with your parlays. This fight right here, it's a riskier one, but, dude, I think it's going over 2.5. Fuck it. Let me shoot for the stars with that one. You could even do more value-sided. I'm actually going to make this one happen right now. Let me remove these fucking big favorites here. Ignacio, where you at, Ignacio? Boom. Pereira, Rosas, and then the over 2.5, and the Yanez font fight is plus 522, guys. Take a picture of that one. I think value-wise to likelihood, that one's shooting fucking bullets. I actually got to play that one myself. I love it. People, much love to you. I hope you enjoyed the weigh-in recap show. I will be live, as I said, entire UFC 287 fight card, so do not miss it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Smash that like button. Drop a W in the comments. Definitely let me know your main event pick. I want to know who you got, Pereira or Adesanya. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Plenty of content always dropping. As I said, live for the card, full event recap I'll be doing. And then we get right into Holloway versus Allen predictions because it does not stop here at the MMA Experts channel. Much love. Thank you all. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.